Celtics at Philadelphia as we get into the closing stages of the regular season. And we're back. We're turning our attention now to the Jamaica Premier League. Waterhouse moving into a playoff position after their hard-fought 3-2 victory over Faulkland. This happening on Monday night. Meanwhile, in the second game of the doubleheader at the Catherine Holt Sports Complex in Montego Bay, Mount Pleasant Academy shared the points. Let's have a look at the highlights from both matches.
It was an action-packed match, and Mobay United on the front foot right away, and they would break the deadlock with this strike from Shaquille West. Courtney Allen into the area, lovely pass to West, and West with the finish after just 9 minutes, and Mobay United were ahead. Then this piece of skill from Ricardo Morris, but the shot from Trevante Stewart was skewed badly. The 14-goal man not able to add to his tally, and the joint leading goal scorer in the Jamaica Premier League. Mobay United continued to come forward. This time it was the captain from outside the area, Johan Weatherly, and that was over the top and wide. He had a pretty good first half, the Mobay captain. Then this moment inside the area, deflected effort from Donovan Sigree to score his first of the season. Has scored a couple last season, very versatile player, playing in the middle of the park today, and certainly favours a left foot strong shot. It was on target, deflected. Mobay United back in it after 22. We're all at 1. Then this mirror, Courtney Allen again. He had a superb game, the Mobay United number 7, earning his team a penalty, change of pace, and Shaquille Dyer with the challenge. It was poor, and he won the penalty. And Vaughn Turner converted it for his second of the season, and then cracking it. Then Ricardo Morris into the air, and this moment would change it. A tough work by Bygrave on as a substitute with the header into the ground, initially saved by Burton, and the other substitute, Sule McCullough, with the toe, which would put it over the line and into the back of the net. Scrappy finish, but they all count. Sule McCullough with his second, Mount Pleasant with their second, and yeah, 2-2. The full match highlights: Christopher Mason, the man with the whistle. Waterhouse in the full yellow on the front foot right away. Inside the area looking for Denada Thomas, couldn't find him. Lovely delivery by Damian Binns. And Waterhouse had the majority of the possession, but they weren't banking on this. Jelani Nicholson, skill from the right hand side, getting it into Thompson. And a lovely finish past Kimar Foster, who was left frozen. That was 1-0. After just 17 minutes, Tevin Thompson, great skill there, how he cut onto the right foot. And Faulkland against the run of play. That lead lasted 3 minutes until this moment. Damian Binns driving forward with the strike. On target, well saved. And then this, Shaquille Bradford pulling wide as he has done so often. In form is Shaquille Bradford, 7 goals. Breaking down the side, and that was an intelligent pass into Devon Dunkley, who opens his Premier League scoring. After 20 minutes, we were all square. Then, after Waterhouse had all of the possession, this happened on the counter. Jelani Nicholson, not known for his pace, but he showed good skill. Kenroy Hoyle was getting back, couldn't prevent the ball from going into the back of the net. Foster, from that step over from Nicholson. Nicholson doubles his tally on the season, he has 2. And after 40 minutes, it was Faulkland 2, Waterhouse 1. They would go into the half that way. Then 12 seconds into the second half, this happened. Dante Duncan on as a substitute, pass inside to Shaquille Bradford, lovely left-footed touch, take it away from the defender, and a penalty given. Damian Binns with his 3rd penalty of the season, and it was all square after 46 minutes. Waterhouse, the pedigree team, continuing to come forward. Shaquille Bradford, great strength there, and composure as well, presence of mind, just to slot it past David Swaby and make it 3-2 to Waterhouse after 55 minutes. 8 on the season for Shaquille Bradford. Then this moment, well, Clark said, look, I have a talented left foot too. That was from some 40 yards out or more with the left foot. Hasn't scored this season, wide of the mark. 3-2 Waterhouse after 90 minutes.
Yeah, so highlights from the 2 matches in Montego Bay last night. Mount Pleasant, mid-season leaders in the Premier League, now on a 4-game winless run and beginning to stutter late in the regular season. And Waterhouse retaking their position among the top 6, so they're with a playoff position at the moment. Waterhouse, you remember, lost 3 consecutive finals in Premier League football, 2 to Portmore and 1 to Cavalier back in 2021. Arnett Garden still top of the table with 42 points, 2 ahead of Cavalier on 40 points. Mount Pleasant third on 37, so Mount Pleasant now 5 points off the lead. Harbourview fourth and Humbleland fifth, both having 36 points. Harbourview with a superior goal difference and Waterhouse in 6th position. Portmore are just 2 points off a playoff spot in 7th. Dunbeholden back in 8th, Malines 9th, and Faulkland and Chapelton bottom of the table and rooted to that position or those positions. Faulkland mathematically still with a chance of making it out of the relegation zone, but Chapelton looking to be in a spot of bother there, that Clarendon team. So Mariah and Ricardo, we are late in the regular season now, and those teams that we're looking at the top look pretty safe, but there's still this eager battle going on for the final playoff spots. Waterhouse, the lowest seeded team in the playoff at the moment, and Portmore are within striking distance of them.
Yeah, you know, early in every season, you never really want to predict because, of course, you know where competition is concerned. Some teams have a really rough patch at particular points in the season, and we saw that because I wanted to, when I'm making this point, it's in particular to Mount Pleasant, because Mount Pleasant would have started the season extremely strong, and then we see them now drop to 3rd spot where the table is concerned. So, you know, now it's at the point where I want to think that the top 4 will remain the top 4, especially because of how the season has gone. And of course, the teams that has picked up the momentum and surged to the top 2 in the table, they continue to keep that momentum.
Yeah. Every time it comes to this point of the season, Lance and Mariah, I start asking myself if I like this format. Yes. Like every single
What about
time,
it?
every single year, bar none. Mm-hmm. Because you look at Mount Pleasant Academy, 3rd position, 5 points behind. But talk about the leaders. Arnett Gardens, 42 points. Cavalier, 40 points. You've played so well over the course of an entire season. Mm-hmm. And you could be knocked out of winning the title.
Yes.
Over the course of 2 matches.
That's the beauty of it, Ricardo. That's the thrill. You work so hard, and if you allow yourself to get knocked out, that's on you.
The thrill if you're a neutral, but not the thrill if you have
been through the work.
Yes. Yes. If you have done the work over the course of a season. Yeah. If you have tallied the points that would otherwise have allowed you to win the title, if you have been the most consistent team over a period of 7 or 8 months, only for your entire season to be defined by 2 games. Every time we have a conversation, we say Harbourview are reigning champions, and rarely do we remember that Harbourview, for 60% of last season, was poor.
But they picked up form at the right time.
But the point you're making is a solid one, Ricardo, especially because in top leagues in the world, it is a league format, and it's what you do over the entire season that decides whether you're champions or not. I suggest that the Jamaica Football Federation and organisers of the JPL, as they have been doing for many years now, consider the excitement of a playoff and a knockout and
like
a final.
Champions League lands.
But for most countries of highly structured football, the league for the domestic competition is a league format.
At Lance, the Champions League is a highly structured top
No, but it's not a domestic tournament.
Not a domestic tournament.
It's a continental tournament, which is different.
Because the point that Ricardo is making, Harbourview finished 6th last year in the regular season, and they weren't really very good, but they ended up being good when they needed to be. And in 2017, when Arnett Gardens won, they were also 6th in the regular season and ended up winning the title. only 4 times in the last 10 years has the regular season champion gone on to win the title.
Right.
So more often than not, it is a team that wasn't the best throughout the regular season that ends up winning the title. I understand the excitement of a final. 3 of the last 4 Premier League finals went to penalties, and that's gripping stuff. So I understand the attraction of having a playoff and a knockout format and a championship match. But for the purists of the game and the people putting in the work, I think if you ask most of the teams that play, I think they would prefer to have a straight league, and the team that ends with the most points wins the championship.
And for me as well, Lance and Mariah, I am a consistency man, right?
Yes.
So I'm always going to favor the team that's doing well over the course of an entire season rather than a team that comes on in the last 3 or 4 matches of the season. And I do understand, I understand the excitement, yes, as you pointed out, of having the playoffs, like in the NBA. But for me, in football, there's a reason you have knockout competitions. Knockout competitions are expected to achieve just that.
You mean like the one Man United won? The Carabao Cup?
So,
No, you need to answer, Ricardo.
Yes, Lance. So, as I was saying, the Jamaica Premier League... the Jamaica Premier League...
I will talk by myself if both of you all are going to laugh.
The Jamaica Premier League in its current format, or in a league format, could have gone down to a riveting finish. It's only 5 points separating the top 3 at the moment, 2 points separating first from second. So you could still have a tantalizing battle to the finish when you have the league format. But I just feel it's important to reward the teams who are performing over a long period of time and the players who are performing over a long period of time, because it is the consistency in performance that will make the difference, especially when you move up to the national level. The players that will serve you well are the players that can perform well match in, match out.
Right.
But you can't be non-existent for 60% or 70% of the season, or almost non-existent, and then in the last 2 matches you turn up, you do brilliantly, and you win the title. I don't like it.
Do you think, and of course one of our producers has been one of the JPL producers, so this is a thought for consideration coming from him, of course. Maybe this is done in the interest of the fans, so they can enjoy the match.
Believe me, if it were up to that producer, you would have 10 playoffs.
Yes? That producer is Valentino Thompson.
That producer is Ramon Stewart. Poor old Valentino. Valentino is a league man. He's a Manchester United man, and a sensible one.
He's the one who has given me the idea that it's being done for the fans,
It is being done for the fans.
Yeah, I think Ricardo is accepting that. But he thinks that
No, well, of course, Ramon will do anything that's, different from what we expect. So if it's up to him, we start with the finals. We don't even play the entire competition. We do it wrong side. But yeah, I think, of course, the format has worked and it continues to stay, because there has to be a reason behind it. I think it's what makes the JPL very different from other competitions. I will also agree with Tino that it makes it very exciting for the fans, because you just never know if your team can win.
Here's what I'll say. It's exciting. Big up yourself, organizers.
Do you want to have your own competition?
But it's not fair. I don't have enough money. I would have to borrow money from Lance.
No, you wouldn't. It wouldn't have excitement, because it would just be consistency.
Well, my national team would be performing well.
All right.
Okay, well, we are heading into a break, but here's a reminder of our ongoing La Liga promotion, which has a main prize being a trip for 2 to Spain. Other prizes include authentic La Liga jerseys and a ball. There are 10 challenges overall, 9 remain. The challenge winners will battle in the ultimate clash, with the winner securing the grand prize. For more information, visit SportsMax website and stay tuned to the SportsMax social media pages.
Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.